Okay, so getting going here, we're going to start off by going over the directional scanner. It does help out so you can tell what is around you in the system, and if you're also hunting, this will help you essentially find out your targets in a system and help pinpoint their direction of where they are. We use this a lot in low-sec PvP as well as out in null-sec just to tell when people come in, how far they are, and just general information. It's something that all pilots need to know a base knowledge of, and it's good to set up a hotkey or something in order to go to it. So to start off, I am going to close my current probe scanner and directional scanner coming up. To access both of these, down to the left of your capacitor, you're going to have these scanners and probes menu. Once you left click, you open that, and you can open your directional scanner. You also have Alt-D is a shortcut for doing so. Quick tip for opening and closing your probe and directional scanners. When you're going through these, as you can see from mine, I have mine on the bottom right of my screen. They do not typically start off like this, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of each of those. I can pull one up, however that is not how they go. They're normally going to be in this format. This is going to be the same for the directional scanner. It will also be in this format. This will probably most likely be a full screen when you first start the game and open it. You have a hard time seeing what is behind you and everything when you're going through to do this. So what I highly recommend, come up to the probe scanner, hit this square inside of the square, and it's going to make it into its own window. I'm going to do the same thing onto the directional scanner. They'll probably appear in the middle of your screen. I put mine back in towards the bottom right to help keep it out of the way. Now for the solar system, I like to put that floating. As it's floating, I can change the size, do what I need to rearrange it. Just go ahead and keep that in mind. So currently I'm going to go ahead and give a scan here. You can see there's an anathema out. We have a friendly one. They just warped away. So coming up on the directional scanner, your range will always be up to 14.3, and you have the ability for an angle out to 360. To help visualize this, I am going to be opening up the solar system map. So you can see on the solar system map, I'm going to change my range, and the bubble is going to change along with it. The same goes with the angle. Now think of the angle as if you go down far enough, you're essentially putting a spotlight on whatever it is you are trying to essentially scan down. When you're going to larger ones, you are increasing that until eventually you're doing a 360-degree scan all the way around you. So to start off, you always want to make sure you do a fresh scan, get an idea of what's around you. Now, got another one. We see there's a Legion currently out on scan. I'm tethered up. I don't have to worry about that in any way. So with that, I don't know where they are in system other than their 14.3 AU. I'm going to slowly shrink this down. I don't need to drag the number. All I have to do is click on the range. Okay, they're still within 10. I'm going to cut that down in half again. So I know they're between 5 and 10. Now I'm just going to manually enter numbers until they reappear on the D-scan. So between 7 and 8, I'm going to slowly go down again, and I'm going to click. My whole goal is to find out the exact range and distance this thing is away. Now there are faster ways to do this, but this is the way that I'm going to go through and teaching just to give you a good overview of how it works. Alright, so I know they're within 7.5. First thing I'm going to do is come up to the travel tab. What is, for mine, everyone might have one set up different. I have two objects. I have the star and the sovereignty hub at 7.5 AU. I have Shift C, which I can click, and it will snap to in the direction that I'm clicking on anything. If I hit Shift C again, it will turn that off. I want Shift C on. It doesn't matter the direction that my ship is facing, it matters where the camera is facing. That is how the angle and all that will end up working. So I'm going to go to those at 7.5. I'm going to start off with the star. I'm going to turn it to a 5 AU. I have a Legion within 5 AU, but I also have two skyhooks, a sovereignty hub, and the star. As you can see on the map, it created essentially a spotlight down towards the star and for the range that it's at. Now I want to get a little bit better view, so I'm going to warp to a save point, that I have in the area. I'm going to ensure that I cloak up the moment I'm away from the Astra House, of course. Now I'm coming at this at a different angle, so things are not all in line and I can help get a better pinpoint. It's always nice if you're going to be in a system a long time or you're in a PvP area, somewhere you frequent, to have multiple save points, and especially around the center of the system, so you can get different scan angles, especially if you're going to be hunting. So from here, I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to go to the star. I'm still scanning the Legion. Okay, from there I'm going to hit the Sov Hub. I'm scanning, so I know they're either at the Sov Hub or the star. I have a planet even closer. I could warp directly down to these, see if they're there, but the purpose of this is to show you different angles for how to scan things down. The one for this, though, the Sov Hub and the star are essentially stacked on top of each other. So, right there, I'm at the star. They're not there. I scan the Sov Hub. I know they're sitting at the Sov Hub. So going from there as well, I could also, I could find their exact distance and help verify where they are. So I just go from there, warp into distance while I'm cloaked, and I'll most likely find the decloaked Legion. That's just a quick overview for how to go over. You want to use your angle to pinpoint an object, and you want to use your ranges to figure out how far away they are. Personally, I end up using the geology tab because I like to have asteroid belts, rocks, anything like that, or the planet and moon tab. Many people will warp to planets and moons, so you set that thing up so you can warp around and pinpoint people as they jump around to these different objects. It'll help save you with what you have going on, and if this were to be an enemy Legion, I'd want to know where they are in system at all times. So if I'm on a miner and there might be hostiles around, say in high sec for gankers, I could be hitting that D-scan while I'm mining, as well as watching my local for a escalation, of course. But if I'm on my D-scan, I can see, hey, there's catalysts warping in, or they're within 1 or 2 AU. The difference with this one is when you get into faction warfare, if you're going to be going into an acceleration gate, this also works the same if you go to an acceleration gate in nullsec to clear a site. For the Crimson Harvest event, for instance, you go into a site. If I'm inside the site, I will put my angle to 360, and I'm going to put my range down to 1 AU. That 1 AU range I can continuously scan. If something pops up on that 1 AU and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I know that there's a ship sitting on the outside of that acceleration gate and they could be coming inside on me. This helps if you're out in a golem or just a regular radar, whatever you have, and you just happen to be trying to protect yourself, you're 2-3 gates in, you want to know what's coming in on you. Now keep in mind you have the cruisers in the game, which that is going to be things such as the Curse. That is a T2 cruiser. So the T2 cruiser is a recon ship that is not detectable by D-scan. Every race has one of them. So if you are in something smaller that cannot take on a recon cruiser, you do want to be careful. They cannot sino in and stuff inside of the sites. However, they can still sneak up on you, so those are some that you have to be wary of that people use as traps. Anyways, that's a quick overview of using the D-scan and the rangefinder for it to locate where you're going. Hope that helps. Have a good day.